Today, for the first time, I'm going to show my POE 2 build, which is not even a build, it's just a setup, and you'll see why. I'm just going to showcase what I've been doing. I've been trying to make a build, a proper build. So we're going to run a breachstone, and we're going to run a plain old breachstone. They're just called breachstones in POE 2. Now, this video is not about showcasing the build, you'll find out. This video is about a warning on if you're not a person that creates your own builds, if you don't like to be like me and just create your own builds from scratch, if you like to reference something powerful to develop a setup that you can farm something, you may follow build guides. And I post build guides on this channel. I have not posted a build guide on this particular monk, this lightning flurry monk. And you'll see why. You'll see why shortly, but as you can see, I'm running through the breachstone, and it feels fine, right? We're clearing through the rares quite quickly. I fixed mana burn problems. It had mana burn problems for a very long time. A lot of monks do. I got that all resolved. We got a curse and a mark, we got conductivity, we got voltaxic mark. It's a long play, because I didn't want to cut anything, and I did not want to speed up anything. This is normal speed. You'll see a lot of build creators, quote unquote, would post footage like this, and then hop into the gear, the passive tree, and the setup, and say, this is the build guide. This is my warning to you. Be very careful when you follow a build guide, and you'll see why. I will never share a build guide with you guys unless I think it's a functional build, because I'm very proud of my custom builds, like the one that took down GG noobs 2. Especially nowadays, I'm extremely particular, extremely picky about it. It has to be extraordinarily effective. Now, the showcase here is simply that this looks very effective, right? This looks very good. Now this build, effectively, this is equivalent to like running a tier 15 map. Just a regular tier 15 map. And this build can run tier 15, tier 16s fine. It's at level 90. Especially now with the mana burn resolution problems. You can ask it in chat. I'm not going to post it, and you'll see why in the second half of this video. There will be no POV, because this build is not complete. It's just a setup. A proper build is very good at one particular thing, or pretty good at everything, or pretty good at most content. This one's very much like a C+, you'll find out. B-. And I'll be playing with other actual character classes. I've only done the monk. This is my only character, really, that's been leveled. It's my first POE 2 build. Now, let's pop into the boss. Jet. However you say that. There are some mechanics here. You can see dodging the hand that comes down. There's other hands that come about the ground. Anytime you see hands related to this guy, like that, you gotta dodge them. You gotta get out of the way, because this one is Toll's classic Ice Spear, and then you got Esh's area of effect, lightning, basically Nova. And you got that hand that's very painful. And you'll notice I'm doing pretty good damage for an endgame boss, right? Look. Oh boy, I should just hop right in and showcase this build I developed. Well, the problem is, this is a tier 1. This is a tier 0, frankly. I turned off all plus difficulties to the twisted domain. Be very careful when following build guides, that's my point. Now we're gonna run a this is it. This is what you have to showcase if you actually have a build that you want to showcase to the community, right here. This is all the way up. Tier 4. Tier 4 breachstone. Now, I give a very valiant effort. I'm just gonna showcase and let it play through. This is the kind of content you have to run if you're gonna recommend as a content creator build guides to people. So let's see how this goes. Actual post-endgame content. Now, why run stage 4? Why not just run the easy ones over and over again? You have an opportunity to get access to specific uniques. In this case, with breachstones, it's called controlled metamorphosis. The roll is very much dependent, but it gives allocating passives in a massive ring. They can be allocated without being connected to your tree. And then it cuts Ellie and Chaos Res, and you hope you hit a good roll. It can be worth up to 100 Divine, but only on tier 4. Otherwise, certain things like Hand of Wisdom, which is basically giving you lightning damage per dex. A little bit better odds, I believe, but you can still get it on lower tiered breachstones. As you can see, I did make it through barely. I don't even know how. The timer had run out. I made it barely. For your own reference, I recommend at this point actually TPing out and drinking from your well. You can actually do that. You can TP out and then go back in. I didn't know that for a long time. Problem is, this is not a build. This is a setup. I've been trying to work on it. I've got it upgraded. It's not good enough to recommend, so I'm not going to recommend it to you guys. Big difference, right? One hit, the armor wasn't enough. Just be careful. Make sure builds you follow are running actual post-endgame content, not just endgame content.